Hello, I am Sister Therese Dookeran. I was not a Catholic when I went to school at Holy Name Convent, but I had a personal desire to be baptized a Catholic and be a Christian missionary one day. I think I had a happy disposition as a child. In spite of ups and downs, I enjoyed the hymns in our Sunday school sessions as I was falling in love with Jesus more and more. The witness of the Catholic girls confirmed my desire to be Catholic. My friends at school, many of them Catholics, would have lots of fun at recreation time. Yet, when the time came for the weekly meeting for our Children of Mary group, quite a number of them would promptly go off in procession to their meeting. This was a revelation to me, as I felt that I can be happy and holy at the same time, just as they were. Living the faith does not have to be solemn. I saw the nuns interact with the girls, friendly and in a relaxed manner, at the same time being spiritual guides to the girls. This was a little different from some of the other religious sisters I had met, who seemed to be prayerful, yes, but strict and serious. 4 years after my baptism in discerning my vocation, God led me to join the Dominicans of St. Catherine of Siena in 1968, where I had hoped to bring many persons to know God's love for all of us. I entered the congregation shortly after Vatican Council II, when the church was being challenged to renewal. At that time, I was already adapting to the use of the vernacular in church music in the parishes in which I worked. As time went by, I was excited with the adventure of the renewal. I thought my gift of music was a possible contribution towards the changes taking place in the liturgy. Our congregation very soon dared to make changes to adapt to the request for renewal. Our sisters got into action and renewed their customs and practices of religious life, and also our religious habits or wear. I felt at home during this time. I was able to continue training choirs, in learning new hymns in English, using various instruments, including the guitar, pan, and drums. Choir members were given a sense of prayerfully leading the congregations in worship. I say our congregation dared to make changes, and it seemed to me that it took great courage and faith to move forward. Our congregation had this courage and faith. I recall that our foundress, Mother St. Dominic of the Cross, was willing to answer the needs of the church as part of our mission at a time when life was much more difficult. When asked to come to Trinidad to the lepers, the French sisters who volunteered to answer this call received a little training in caring for the sick, but they come with faith and courage. Then there was a call to take care of the street children, and Mother St. Dominic responded by assisting Father Mariano first year with the Belmont Orphanage. The trend continued in spite of the fact that many sisters were French-speaking. Within that time, one of the sisters thought of publishing a Catholic newspaper, and to this day it is still in operation. What I want to stress here is that the sisters were creative in bringing the good news in new ways. For example, the live presentation of the Nativity at the Belmont Orphanage, which turned out to be very popular for many years, and today is being transformed into a more present-day presentation. A Dominican friar, Father Philippon, once said, "A Dominican soul is not regimented. It is not disturbed by progress, nor does it find new techniques disconcerting. Rather, it marshals these into the service of the liberating truth, which is love. So it is that the order through centuries preserved its youth and its creative spirit, ready to answer redemption's every appeal. The congregation continued to be open to new things, and some of our sisters made their input in the Catholic charismatic renewal as well, in the liturgical preparations and joining prayer teams. When asked to release sisters in other works other than our established apostolates, we answered the request without hesitation. The Church needed it, and so we responded. For example, Roman Catholic Archdiocesan National Youth Coordinator, Chaplain of the University, and a seminary lecturer. As youth coordinator, I was able to work with parishes to give a spiritual and secular foundation to Catholic youth in the diocese. I was allowed to carry programs, youth programs, the various Caribbean islands, and accompany many pilgrimages. My experience of the first core weekend, led by the then Brother Ron Mendez, a Spiritan seminarian, was an eye-opener. During the weekend, I was moved by sincerity, the sincerity of the youth as they shared their life experiences. I felt great compassion towards them and thought that young people needed some adult figure to listen to them, to love and accompany them on their journey. The core weekend gave them such an opportunity. I saw the pain in their hearts as they struggled to live good lives, and I committed to help in the future. I became the Archdiocesan Youth Coordinator some months after. CORE was a springboard for my future missionary activities. Many years later, I was asked to accompany a group of 12 married couples on a pilgrimage to Betania in Venezuela. It was one of those times that I felt really tired, but it seemed it was God's wish, and I surrendered. When I got on the bus and saw what faced me, I was a bit hesitant, as the men and families all seemed to be not only friends, but also pretty well-off business people. In my prejudiced mind, I wondered, how are these men of the world going to respond to my role on the pilgrimage? To my surprise, the men sang so well that they became our choir at the masses. Another amazing moment was at the time of the testimonies at the end of the pilgrimage. The men were first to come forward and share their experiences. Their wives were, for the most part, silent and sat in awe as they heard for themselves the touch of God in the lives of these men. The pilgrimage organizer and I felt then and there that these were family people, and we took the opportunity to invite them to begin the Couples for Christ movement in our diocese. This has also reached some of the Caribbean islands. As I look back on my years in the religious life, I feel so happy. It has been such a joyous adventure. I don't know what God is going to do for me with me in the future, but I say thank Him, and I want to continue being that joyful servant of His.